Okay, so we installed DQMH 4.0, and what we're going to do is open a DQMH project that was using DQMH modules that were created using DQMH 3.0. If I go to the documentation, Control H, you'll see that this VI, it says, is based on the Delacorte QMH project template 31034. Okay, so it is a 3.0 version. You install DQMH 4.0, you might want to see what differences there are and how you need to update your module. So the easiest way to do that is go to DQMH, validate DQMH module. And once there, it's going to list all the DQMH modules available on your project. In this case, we only have the singleton, so we're going to take that one. And it lists all the things that have changed. So I'm going to go one by one explaining what it changed, and you'll see how fast you can get up and running. So obsolete closed module error handling found. Here what happened, this error handling approach used in your version of the closed module. So closed module, so let me open it so you know which one we're talking about. So I'm going to open the closed module VI and show its block diagram. And it says module will result in the module did stop broadcast not being fired if there is an incoming error to the closed module. So you can see that definitely would happen. And we want these VI is already it's called once we already exit the modules. Let me show you where that's being called at so you can see. So I'm going to right click final instances. This VI is called right here. So we already exited. There's no way going back, right? It's down here on the right. We want to notify, even if there was an error, that we did stop. So we want to change that. So what we say after that is consider upgrading your closed module to use the new error handling approach where the module did stop broadcast is fired even on incoming error. So if we just go down here to the fix issue, what that did is it automatically scripted moving the error in to be wired at the top of the merge errors. This way, this code executes regardless if there was an error at the input or not. You do Control H, you see that we added, note this VI was modified by the validate DQMH module to upgrade it to use an improved error handling scheme where the module did stop broadcast will execute even if there's an incoming error. Now I'm going to go to the second one where it says obsolete handle exit via error handling found. So the error handling approach used in your version of the handle exit of this DQMH module will result in an error in certain situations. This is particularly true on real-time target. Delacorte recommends fixing the issue. So what do we mean by this? Let's go and look at the handle exit, and you'll notice that on the block diagram, if you're running in real time, this is going to cause an error. So what we are suggesting is that we clear the error. So I'm going to click on the fix issue. And what that did is just added a clear errors after here. And these errors are still going to get propagated correct. So that's a quick fix. And the scripting tools take care of that fix for you. And it explains what was the modification that was done to it. Modified via scripting tools. On wire event registration error output. Now notice this one doesn't have the fixed issue. It says the error output of the register for events node in your DQMH main VI is on wire. You should wire the error output to ensure proper error handling in your application. So what do we mean by this? If you go to main VI, you are going to see that we used to, this was a big oversight that one of the developers discovered, the developers that was using DQMH. So what you want to make sure is that if for whatever reason there was an error here, what we're going to do is we're going to insert merge errors, Control I to insert, and I am going to insert it here. So this way, whether I have an error coming from the initialization or I have an error when I register for the events, I would get notified here. So if there was an error at registering for the events, we would know about it and we would go to the error case. So that one does not get fixed automatically. You do have to do the fixing yourself. Let's go back to obsolete message handling loop frames. Not necessarily wrong. Let me just clarify that. The message handling loop in your DQMH main contains the following message frames. show diagram, show panel, hide panel. The latest version of the DQMH project templates eliminates these messages and instead processes show panel, hide panel, and show diagram in the event handling loop. This makes operations in DQMH more atomic. If you have multiple places in your code that are enqueuing show panel and hide panel messages, consider making sub-VIs for these operations and placing them in the places where you would otherwise enqueue those messages. This helps avoid situations where non-atomic operations that are expected to execute in a particular order are reordered due to high priority message being enqueued in between them. So you can study this improved implementation by creating a new DQMH module and opening the main VI. Okay, let me show you. I'll just create a new DQMH module. So we have 4.0 now. So if I create a new DQMH module, and let's just call this DQMH 4.0 singleton. And I'm gonna edit the overlay just so we can differentiate between the two. Okay. All right, so let me show you the differences. If I open the 4.0, you will notice that we no longer have the show panel, hide panel, and show diagram. Instead, when we get the message to show panel, we just have a VI that shows the panel. Okay? And then if you do hide panel, same thing. And this VI, if I do go to the block diagram, so just doing that, if I find all instances, you'll see that I'm calling it 2 times in the main, and I'm also calling in the handle exit. So this was the code that we were putting a clear errors. We just decided just to put the VI there, and we're not handling the errors because we don't care if there's an error. If we go to show block diagram, same thing, all the code is now here. So those VIs are no longer used here. So I'm going to create a new one, but this time with the do something and do something else. Okay, so I'm going to include the do something. We're going to edit the overlay so we can differentiate. Let me create that. You'll see that when we were doing this something, we were enqueuing update display versus also doing the broadcast for did something. Compared to now 4.0 DQMH, when we do something, we're no longer doing that enqueue. Okay, so we remove the enqueue, and instead just update directly the status. So we feel that this is a better practice and ensures that your front panel shows the current status, and you don't risk getting another do something, for example, getting enqueued in between that time and the time that you get to actually do the update display. So another minor thing that several people requested was that there was really no reason for this wire to go through the 3.0 module. You'll see that we used the wire through the Q wire, which we really didn't do here. So it was, somebody asked us why, and we really couldn't come up with the reason of why we had it differently, and there were enough people bringing it up that we decided to change that.